Everyone thinks they listen, but really they don't. One of my favorite presentations on learning listening skills, I start out by asking people, how many of you think you're good listeners? And most of them raise their hand. And then I say, how many of you would be willing to agree with the fact that you never listen ever? And they're looking at me like, okay. And I've done this to lawyers groups. So how can a psychiatrist challenge them to do that? And I said, really, so you think you listen? Yeah. And so what I then present is, I want you to imagine that you have an associate who's not getting things done on time, and you're wondering whether you should even keep them. And they always make mistakes. And what are some of the adjectives that come to mind? Sloppy, lazy, unmotivated. Why do we hire them, right? So I want you to imagine that it's a Tuesday, and you say to them, did you get the work done on the Johnson case? And they say, no. What are you thinking to yourself? Lazy, don't follow through, why do we keep them? I'm going to complain to the managing partner, fire them, right? Yeah. What if instead of jumping to that conclusion, you said, how come? And they said something like, I know you've been disappointed in me for a long time in terms of my work product, my work ethic, and actually I've been in all weekend doing it. But Sunday night my grandpa called me that my grandma, who he's really dependent on, had a stroke. And my grandpa is losing his memory and he was in a panic, so I spent the entire night, Monday, last night, with my grandpa and my grandma, and so I'm not exactly here, but even that, I will get it done by the end of today. What would you think then if they said that? And what the audience said is, well, of course, we would be understanding, we wouldn't be critical. And I said, well, counselors, I rest my case. None of you listen.